Hello everybody, good morning, and I am just popping on here from my garden, and as you can see there's wasps whizzing around my head, so hopefully they'll stay away while I make this video. Again, as I said, fabulous morning here this morning, and I just thought I'd come out and speak to you this morning a little bit about colour. And it's the one area that so many people are onto me all the time about and have great concerns about. And first of all, I want to thank any of you who have decided to leave your roots alone and not go near permanent colour. You are doing the right thing. We will be back. I'm sure you're not going out at the moment anyway, and as I said, I would urge you caution not to use any form of a permanent colour option. I'm going to show you the shade chart, and this will explain the reasons why I'm going to ask you not to touch colour. Can you see them? I mean, you're all very familiar with these matrix anyway, and basically the only real reason I have it here with me this morning is just to show you the amount of shades, tones that are available. Now they all look fabulous in this beautiful sunshine this morning, and shiny and glossy, and I'm sure any colour would look fabulous towards grey roots, but again, you do need a lot of training, knowledge and experience to handle colour, and we as colourists, that's our job, not yours. So again, ladies, please stay away from it. The way colour basically works is it works in most cases on a numbering system, and it's between 1 and 10. So 1 is your darkest shade, it's your black, which there's not really anybody naturally black anyway, especially with Caucasian hair. And then 10 is the lightest blonde. Now there are exceptions to this rule, 11 and 12 can be high lift, but I'm just going to give you a little general rule of thumb. So now you have 1 at the lower end of the scale being your darkest, and you have 10 at the higher end, and that's your lightest blonde. And in between then, on that scale, you are. Somewhere in there you are with your base shade. And your base shade is determined by lots of things. It's obviously your natural shade to start with, obviously what percentage of grey you have in your hair, and also then obviously what's on your hair already, and of course your skin tone. And you often find that people have unreal expectations where they expect to go from maybe a base 3, which is a medium brown, up now to perhaps a base 9, which is some form of a blonde, in one go. And this is where, and I know all our regular clients know this, that does not happen. And you can only really move 1 or 2 shades above or below your natural base. Going darker is obviously easier than going lighter, because warmer pigments come through as you go lighter, and that's where brassiness and orange and red come into play, and then you do need tones to neutralize that. So basically, somewhere between 1 and 10, your natural base is, and for argument's sake, we'll just say it's a 6. Okay, so that would be quite common. So now your base is a 6. So that's normally the first number that you see on a shade chart. The next number after that then is the number that's the major tone in that colour. So for instance, in our case, and not in every company is not the same, but in general, -4 is a copper. So now, on your base for 6, -4 comes next, so you have 6-4, 4 is the major tone, and that means that copper is the main tone in on that base. If there's a number that follows on, it's the minor tone. So now perhaps there's going to be something like gold mixed in with the copper, and that will do 2 things. One, it obviously gives a different shade. Secondly, it neutralizes the intensity of the concentrate of the copper, so it's not quite as orange. And it just, it works in different ways. So this is where it gets really, really complex. And just because it's saying 6-4 whatever on a tube doesn't mean that it's going to come out on your base. So you don't want to end up with what we call tonal direction. It's where, say, the root of your hair takes it as a completely different colour, sometimes known as hot roots. These things you need to avoid. Other things a lot of people are very familiar with are names like ash, silver, smoky, pearl, warm, honey, golden, chestnut, auburn. There's all these adjectives that to describe colour. Somebody once said to me that a lot of companies, they have these names on, basically that if it tastes good enough to eat, people will buy them. So for instance, if it's chocolate brown, or a caramel highlight, or a strawberry blonde, that's years ago where names came out of. And it's amazing how advertising can trick people into, I suppose trick us all into believing things. But we don't work on that route, we work on a numbering system. We have the power then, as I said, to neutralise tones within that. So for instance, we can use, an ash, which is more or less a green tone, to neutralise red. But if you put ash on a hair that isn't actually red with an undertone to start with, that hair becomes green. And this is where a lot of people, especially blondes, go so wrong, or even browns, that they have this green look off their hair. So ladies, it's just not worth it. Please do not go near it. Going to run through a few of the temporary options again. I know I'm repeating myself a little bit, but so many people are asking me, so I really feel I need to do this. Again, we have Osis Schwarzkopf dry shampoo, pigmented shampoo. You use it on the hair dry, just spray it on afterwards. Again, it comes in blonde, brunette and dark. I have a couple of the shades, haven't them all. Good temporary option. Give me a call if you need it. The next one that I do have, again, I'm quite limited with a lot of these now at this stage, but just so you'll know. This one you're all familiar with. It's the supermarket stroke pharmacy version of L'Oreal's Magic Retouch, and this is its big sister. It's the Salon version. Basically, I call this hair makeup. Great temporary option, as I told you before, thin on the head, and from about that distance, you spray where you need it. You don't need it all over the place. So literally just put it where your grey is visible onto an old toothbrush, mascara wand or cotton bud if you want to touch up on the sides. A good option. Perhaps put a tissue under the fringe, for instance, just so that it doesn't, it doesn't spatter on your face. Don't use it sparingly. That's the secret. Don't get carried away and start putting it globally. It's just not worth it, and your pillowcases won't forgive you for it either. Again, that's coming in dark blonde, light brown, brown, mahogany brown, dark brown. I think that's what I have available. Again, contact me if you need it, and I certainly will do my best to get it to you. The other one that's around, a lot of you will smile when you see this one, because it'll bring back memories of perhaps granny. Everybody's granny used this back in the day, and it goes back to my training days. But funny enough, it's around again in a new formula. It's basically, it's called Fanciful, by the way. So it's Rue Fanciful, and it's basically coloured setting lotion. It's not going to work wonders. It comes in all these different shades. We all have heard of years ago Chocolate Kiss, Plush Brown, Hidden Honey. This is particularly Frivolous Fawn. What else was there? Silver Lining, True Steel, Bashful Blonde. I mean, what kind of a shade is Bashful Blonde? But anyway, none of them ever came through to tone, but it didn't seem to matter. Everybody loved it, and it will soften roofs. And if it's at home, maybe it's the time now to take it out, or if you do indeed see it in some of the pharmacies on a shelf, again, it's a temporary option. It washes out. Shake it well. If it's around at home for quite a while, I would test patch it first, because the colour could have gone off, for want of a better word. It might have gone past its expiry date, which isn't too pleasant, and it can take on a different kind of form. But again, ladies, as I said, desperate times, desperate measures. Look, it won't do you any harm. Perhaps stay away from it with highlights. That's the one area, because highlights will absorb. They're so much more porous, so stay away from it. So other than that, ladies, look, if you want to leave a comment, please do so below. If there's something that you'd like me to speak to you about, again, come back to me. Again, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. That's a new one for us. YouTube channel is there. That's useful for people who aren't on Facebook. So again, if you are speaking to anybody and they want a few tips, or do want to try and look at this video without going onto Facebook, pop onto our YouTube channel, Caroline Hair Creation. You can send me messages from any of these media. So just message me. Caroline@hair.ie is my email, or info@hair.ie. We have the easiest, remember, domain name for salons in Ireland, so you can't go too far wrong. All our contact details are there. I'd be delighted to hear from you. Thank you so much to all your clients who are keeping in touch. It means a lot. I'm here to support you. We have no return date to work, as you can imagine. We are just going with government guidelines and HSE guidelines. The minute it's safe to do so, we will be back. The salon is there waiting on us. All our colour deliveries have come. Everything is sitting there waiting. We preempted this somewhat, and I did put in orders, because I envisaged that going down the road, even the fact that a lot of our reps and that are now unfortunately temporarily laid off as well. So things aren't going to get back to normal as quickly as what we'd hope. But as I said, our colour is sitting there. We have it all, and we're all ready and waiting. So ladies, there'll be no reason. We will, obviously we will be doing longer hours. I envisage doing longer hours, and we will do our utmost to look after you. So in the meantime, I'm going off now to put on the barbecue and enjoy the sun, and I'll pop on again in the next few days. And again, please contact me, and all the girls say hello. Everybody is safe and well, and we hope you are too. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.